Sweet.
You're fucking useless. Okay.
Okay, Carl, what's happening, bro? Episode 3 of Bros on Sports.
Oh, it's been a long time coming, since last week, literally.
Yeah, it's felt like forever. So, yeah, what's been happening?
No, dude, busy week. I worked a bit from home, got actually through all my admin that I needed to. And you? What did you get up to?
Nothing much, just,
Draw.
was just on my fetal position, recovering from the fact that Sharapova got absolutely annihilated by Serena.
Well, dude, not just for that, it's also the Ashes, where we were both confidently chirping England and saying Australia have won it, when in actual fact, last 8 overs, Ben Stokes just turned the game around.
In our defense, as we were recording, England needed almost 100 runs.
Oh, it wasn't that much.
It was like 80 runs left.
Yeah, I can't remember.
And then they were 9 wickets down. How could we have expected Ben Stokes to pull off one of the best innings
One of the
I've
best
seen?
innings ever.
One of the best innings
I'm glad
ever.
we got to watch the end of the game. Though.
Yeah, we managed to get the last few overs.
Yeah, we didn't have to speak to you. No, I didn't have to speak to you. Just had to handle your, deal with your company at least.
Yeah, I know. I feel sorry for you. At the same time, I feel more sorry for myself. So.
Oh, shame. Ach, nee. Anyway, Ryan, episode 3. How has episode 1 and 2 gone? I think we've had some good feedback from everyone. We're trying to implement everything.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we can't do much about our personalities, but
yeah, exactly.
You
can't change something that's been engraved in our lives forever.
It's just been 25 years in the making. So,
exactly.
Yeah, but hopefully we improve episode upon episode.
Disappointment for 25 years is a tough pill to swallow. Eh?
It is a tough one to swallow.
Ryan, so today we're going to have a chat about the Uefa Champions League. It's going to be our main focus today.
Yeah.
So we're talking about the groups.
Yeah, the Uefa Champions League.
That was on Friday. That happened on
draw.
Friday. The draw, sorry, that's what I'm trying to say.
I think it happened on Friday, and there's been some interesting matchups.
Yes, and also then Club Football of the Year.
Yeah, so coinciding with the draw, there's UEFA Club Football of the Year got announced. Was the right decision made? We'll chat about
Let's have a chat. You know more about that than what I do. So.
And then we end off with our famous,
Bradbury.
I wouldn't say famous, but we end off with the Bradbury Special.
No, it's famous, dude. It's famous. One day when we're big, Stephen Bradbury will feature him in one of our episodes.
Imagine having Stephen Bradbury as our guest.
We just have to go to Australia and go sit outside his house and stalk him slightly.
Oh man, I'm pretty sure he'll appreciate it.
You're right.
Biggest fans.
Yeah, we are his biggest fans. I think us and a few other people.
Yeah.
Mainly Australians.
Yeah.
I'd say.
So tell me, Carl, what matchups or what groups catch your eye the most?
Well, to be honest, when the draw happened that evening, I still sent you. I was like, since you're a Real Madrid fan and PSG have just, ever since they've spent so much money on their team to basically win the Champions League, they've always just had the shittest draw. Literally. So that caught my eye. They got Real Madrid. And I know it's a group stages. They're still probably going to get out. But I don't know. Having Real Madrid there makes things obviously difficult because you never know. Real Madrid could beat you in both legs. And then you could just maybe slip up against Galatasaray. And then you never know. Then you could be knocked out in the groups and basically the whole world could call you Man United / Chelsea. And then you can go compete in the Europa League and go obviously win it. Because
But at least that's a trophy that they can win. Or a European trophy that they can win.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting one for both sides because regardless, let's assume, without disrespecting Galatasaray and Club Brugge, is it Club Brugge?
Club Bruges, dude.
Club Bruges. Thank you, Carl.
Do you not know Bruges?
I've seen them in the draw. It's one of those sides that I just never know how to pronounce.
Have you watched the movie in Bruges?
I mean, apparently we pronounce Bayern Munich incorrectly. It's Bayern München.
Yeah.
But do we care?
No. You probably do. Some people will be offended.
Yeah.
Right. Have you watched the movie in Bruges?
No.
You should really watch it. It's with Colin Farrell.
Okay.
And what's this other guy? You know Voldemort, the guy who's Voldemort?
I don't know what he looks like, but...
Do you not know Voldemort? Do you not know how Voldemort looks like?
Yeah, but it's obviously not how the actor looks like, surely.
It's him. That he just has a nose. That's the only difference.
So he looks similar.
Exactly. It's like this dark humor movie.
Okay.
Definitely watch it. It's really, really good.
Okay.
It's kind of off topic, but in Bruges, Really, you guys also, you won't be disappointed.
Okay.
Watch In Bruges.
I'll Google the ratings first. Let's see how good of a movie critic you are.
You're one of those guys. Okay, just watch it.
Okay,
you won't
I'll
be
watch it.
disappoined.
I'll give my opinion.
So,
But yeah,
in Bruges is in Belgium, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So they're known for. It's a quote from the movie. Watch it.
See, the problem with this is that...
Voldemort says that.
Okay, so the problem with this episode is that to maintain legitimacy, we shoot this all in one take. So I can't cut that out, and I apologize for any sensitive listeners because I'm scarred. I'm scarred from that. But you know what? I'm used to it. I'm used to Kyle's shenanigans. But getting back to Group A, PSG and Real Madrid, you know, it's interesting for both teams because even if we assume that they go through, coming second in your group is not always the best thing. You're likely going to be faced against a Barcelona or a Bayern Munich.
But isn't there a rule in the Champions League that you still can't face your home nation in the first round?
Nation. Okay, so Real Madrid won't be able to face Barcelona.
Or Atletico.
But if PSG comes second,
dude.
they can face Barcelona or Atletico.
Exactly.
Or Man City. Same thing with Real Madrid. Real Madrid can face Man City or something like that in the second round. And if you're a team that wants to slowly build up momentum as the tournament goes, sometimes it's not nice to face those big teams so early on. So it's a tough one for both sides. But, you know, we discussed this, I can't remember if it was last week or something, that if you see yourself as a Champions League contender, you got to beat the big teams anyway.
Oh, you have to beat them. You have to beat them in the group stages and then potentially beat them in the final again. Well, I think you can only verse them in the final again.
Yeah.
But they have rounds throughout. Maybe you don't.
I think so.
You can see them in the semi.
You can see them in the quarterfinals again. I think from the quarterfinals.
Seriously, I can't remember, dude.
Yeah.
The rules are.
So the second round you can't face them, but from the quarterfinals I think you can face
them again.
So who do you think is gonna top that group?
Well, dude, Real Madrid basically they're building a new side, or in the process of building a new side. Paris, they could still lose Neymar, although we would determine that by the time this episode airs. Sorry.
Yeah.
Neymar, he's going to stay, I think, but maybe looking at how last week's episode went, maybe if I say he stays, he's going to leave. So
I'm just going to say that he leaves just to make this interesting.
And then you can be the dumb dickhead. That's great. I like that.
Okay, so whoever loses this bet's going to have dumb dickhead above their head.
You can. It's going to be you. I'm going to be cocky again. It's going to say it's going to be you. Okay. I think I don't know. Once again, it's 6 fixtures you have to play. It's often they win at home or they draw at home, and that's going to determine who's going to end top of the group.
Yeah,
it's literally how much you beat Club Bruges by might determine if you top your group.
Yeah, I'm going to say Club Brugge is going to.
You're a disappointment.
They're going to come first.
Okay. Yeah, you are definitely the dumb dickhead of this episode. That's for sure. Okay, so that's group 1. That's quick, easy. Another group, Bayern versus Tottenham. Obviously, Bayern is the first seed in the group. They won their league, therefore they instantly go into Pool A. I think it's a tough group for them. I think Tottenham also a tough group for them. They pulled Olympiacos and dude, I can't pronounce that team's Srenya.
Let me find the slide.
Zvezda. I can't say that. Anyway, that's who they pulled.
Yeah, you make fun of me for not being able to pronounce Club Brugge.
And Olympiacos is the Greek team.
Yeah.
It's once again on their day they can beat anyone. It's football. Luckily it's not knockout football. So it also depends who you play on the weekend before and the weekend after.
Yeah.
But I see Tottenham topping that group, Bayern coming second, and then unless
I'm going to go the opposite way, but
you say Bayern's going to come first. Ooh, maybe we can have a nice little cheeky bet and see how close we are.
Yeah. Just put a bet on it. You put a bet.
I'm saying with all of them.
Okay.
So let's say if you get the whole group right, you get 6 points. So if you say, for example, let's look at Group A. Let's say you say Paris first, Real Madrid second, Club Brugge third, Galatasaray fourth, then you get 6 points. So you get basically 1 for each one you got right, and then you get 2 extra for getting the whole group right. So, for example, let's say you get 2 right because you can't get 3 right. It's impossible to get 3 right. Then you'll only get 2. So you basically get 1, 2, or 6 points.
Okay.
Sounds a little. So it rewards you for getting it right.
Okay, so let's do that.
Okay, so we'll remember this. We'll see. So I'm going to chirp before you. I'm going to say Paris, Real Madrid, Galatasaray, and Bruges.
Okay, and I'll go.
You could do the same. Remember, you don't have to go different.
Okay, well, I'll go Real Madrid, Paris, Galatasaray, and Club Brugge.
Oh my god. Okay. Nice.
And Group B, I'm going to go Bayern, Tottenham, Olympiacos, and the other one.
Yeah, let's just say the other one.
In the order that it's
written. We can put it like big on the screen so you can actually see how to pronounce it. And you can correct us in the comments.
Put this on silent.
You're such a tool, dude. Okay, anyway. Bayern, do you think they're going to solve their issues in their team? Do you think they have enough to, maybe you said they're going to top the group. Why are they going to top the group?
Yeah, so I mean, I think guys like, Kingsley Coman, Lewandowski, is Kingsley, why do I get the feeling Kingsley might be injured? No, I think, no. But either way, I think they've got rid of players that, I wouldn't say past their prime, but I think they were stagnating the side somewhat. No disrespect to Ribery and Robin, but whilst those type of legends are still on the side, your obligation is to pick them. So I think getting rid of some older players gives the younger players more of a chance, and it could be a revitalization for them. So I see them doing well in this transitioning period because they were still good enough to win the league last season despite going through the transition. And Tottenham, I think they were slightly lucky actually to get to the final last season. And they had
talk about the final.
They had a poor end to the season in the league.
They just didn't want to win, dude.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm not going to overhype Tottenham simply based on their Champions League run.
From last season.
Yeah, form is temporary, class is permanent, and with Bayern Munich, you can't help but always imagine them in the later stages. So I'm going to say they're going to finish top.
Okay, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
If you say so.
If I say so, you're not happy with that.
Group C, easiest group, probably out of the lot.
Yeah.
I'm assuming we're going to say the same thing. Maybe we'll get 3 and 4 different.
Yeah.
Man City, Shakhtar, Dinamo, Zagreb, and Atlanta. So I'm saying it in that order. I think it's going to stay that way.
I'm going to say Atlanta's going to come second.
Okay. I feel like I am going to win.
Atlanta. I'm going to go City, Atlanta, Shakhtar Donetsk, and Dinamo Zagreb in fourth.
Okay.
Atlanta was an entertaining side in Serie A last season. To get to the Champions League positions.
Where did they end? Fourth?
Yeah, fourth.
So they qualified berth.
So to be able to do that and beat teams like Roma and AC Milan, then you have to have some play about you. I mean, I'll put it this way. If Roma was there, would you have put Roma second?
Most likely.
So the fact that Atlanta finished above Roma last season, were more consistent, had more firepower, that's why I put them as second.
Okay. I like that. I feel like I might, after your how do you say it? How you vouching for Atlanta, I kind of regret putting them in fourth place.
I mean, they're not going to get further than the second round, but I see them getting...
You said second! You think they're going to get further?
I said I don't see them getting further than the second round.
The second round? Oh, sorry.
Yo, Carl.
Dude,
think before you speak.
Well, what if like someone like fucking Leipzig ends first in their group, which is possible, and then they get pulled against Atlanta when they end second? We'll get to that. I'm just saying, for example.
Okay. I'm not saying...
You're going to eat your humble pie. Watch.
You're the one who said they're not even going to get out of the group.
I know, but you're going to eat your humble pie. I just can't wait for that.
It happens all the time, man. So.
Okay, it does. Okay, nice.
Group D?
Group D.
Your favorite group?
Why is it my favorite group? Please tell me. You're the one that obsesses about your second girlfriend, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, I think there's not much to say except Juventus and Atletico are the favourites to get out, but never underestimate Bayer Leverkusen.
Never. German league, dude. The Germans always just on their day. Once again, I've mentioned this a lot today. On their day performance.
Yeah.
Just BMT. Once again.
That German proficiency, that German consistency.
The thing about the group stages in Champions League, it also depends on like your fixtures on the weekend.
Yeah.
So you can get very lucky and maybe not have a big fixture on the weekend. You can rest all your star players and still rescue 3 points over the weekend and then still compete for the midweek game. Also, another thing to consider in the Champions League is traveling. Some of the teams have to travel really far. So
it's a good point. That's
Lokomotiv Moscow. That sounds Russian to me. I might be wrong. It could even be Ukrainian.
Lokomotiv Moskva.
Yeah, that sounds Russian.
Yeah.
I could be humbly wrong.
It's not easy to travel to Eastern Europe.
You play the earlier fixture as well. Not that I think that matters much for the players, but it's just traveling.
Yeah.
And then if you still have to travel on the weekend to play, I don't know, somewhere else in Spain, for example, for Atletico, it does take a knock. It's also, once again, Moscow is in completely different, not Moscow, sorry. Russia is in a completely different time zone.
Yeah.
So another thing to consider is jet lag, dude. Players experience jet lag.
Look, a lot of the players have said they don't like going to the Eastern European countries travel because it's the conditions are so different.
Sometimes they're playing snow.
Yeah, so it's not easy even for the big teams. I remember Real Madrid going to a Russian. I can't remember what the Russian team was called, but they ended up drawing to them 3-3 despite having way more firepower, despite having a much better side because, like you say, jet lag, different conditions can play a role.
But then another thing to consider about the Russian teams is they have like a period where they don't play football at all because it's that middle winter where it's just not safe to play football. And
then they don't have the momentum going into these Champions League games.
But I think that's only before the knockout stages. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I think it's right there towards the end of the year.
So it's like, so basically that also affects because then players aren't as fresh. They might not be as fit as what they used to be. I'm no expert, but I don't know, you get match fit and you get training fit. There's a big difference.
So
that also affects, but I don't think that affects the group stages. I think it's just the knockout stages.
And because, no offense, no Russian teams can get out of the group anyway.
That's a bold thing to say. Okay.
I'm joking. Maybe Zenit. Who knows?
Zenit's got probably the easiest group of the lot. Well, not really necessarily the easiest
group.
If
Zenit could have picked a group, they would have picked that group.
I think they would have. I think you're right.
But getting back to Group D, who do you think is going to progress? Juventus, Atletico, which order?
So I know you're going to say Juventus first. Just knowing you. So I'm going to say Atletico, Juve, Leverkusen, and then Lokomotiv.
Purposely not mentioning the second part of that name because you can't pronounce it. But
Moskva.
I'm not even going to give it an attempt after my Braga attempt. But I think
Braga, yes.
It's tough, eh? Juventus and Atletico are so evenly matched. We saw that in the second round last season. Atletico got to a 2-0 lead after the first leg. Juventus came back, won the second one 3-0. It's very difficult to say, especially Atletico have made good signings.
So you're going to say the same thing as me?
Wow. It's very, very tight. Can I be honest with you?
Remember, they could easily draw both games, and then it's going to be how hard you beat Lokomotiv.
I've got a feeling, I might make an audacious prediction here. I've got a feeling they're going to finish tied, and it's going to come down to a head-to-head.
But what if they both draw their head-to-heads 1-1? Then it's going to go goal difference in the group.
Yeah, so they both draw their head-to-head.
1-1, for example.
Both matches are 1-1. Okay, then it's going to come to goal difference.
Yeah, then it's goal difference. And then if that's tied, then it's
going to come to goals.
Sorry?
I think it's just total goals scored.
I hate that rule so much.
And then but it'll never get to that point, hopefully. Although we've probably said that about the Cricket World Cup.
Exactly. And look what happened. Then the rules get twisted and then someone makes a mistake.
Talking about that just irritates me. So.
Okay, so
I'm gonna go Juventus, Atletico, Leverkusen, and then Lokomotiv just to be different.
Okay, so you don't have to be different if you think it's going to be that
I'm
way.
gonna go that order.
Remember, we can go like it could be. There are lots of groups who are different, so there is going to be a deciding factor.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna go in that order.
Okay.
Cristiano Ronaldo is gonna score 10 goals per match,
and now we're going to the group of the defending champions, Liverpool.
Okay, who's with Liverpool?
So they've got Napoli, Salzburg, and Genk.
Okay.
So I think it's comfortable to say Liverpool are going to top the group. You probably going to say something for Napoli now?
Yeah, I mean...
Tell me more.
I'm not going to break out in song again, but...
I was excited.
But yeah, Liverpool, they just look so solid. They've every single portion of that field, they've got loaded. Except, Alisson's injured now, at the moment.
Well, once again, the group stage it's 6 games and it's over 3 months, 4 months.
So I mean, they just seem so solid in every single facet of the game right now. Forward line, midfield, especially with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain coming back, he's almost like a new signing because he was gone for the whole of last season. Now he's all of a sudden back, and he offers him so many options. So they're loaded in every single facet of the game. And like you said, I can't see them not finishing top. But Napoli, they're a dark horse. And they can get the upper hand on any team on their day. And again, I feel like we're saying on their day a lot this episode, but they can. They're a dark horse.
Who's the goalkeeper at Napoli? Is it still? Why am I struggling with his name? He used to play for Liverpool.
No, you're thinking of Reina.
Is Pepe Reina still there?
No.
Who plays for Napoli right now?
So we've got.
So you said they're a dark horse. Why are they a dark horse?
Who's that? Who's that striker that? Let me get their full squad on.
Your squad list.
Yeah, Napoli.
So I'm assuming in between Salzburg and Genk, sorry. That's once again. Would you say it's a coin toss, or do you think Genk will have the upper hand?
No, actually, I can't actually speak for those teams, but I'll assume maybe Salzburg will get the upper hand
on Genk.
Yeah, just more European experience. But yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember the name of the Napoli striker that it was doing so well last season. Oh, Milik. There we go. Milik, I would say, has had a difficult time coming into Napoli since he's been there, but over the last season he finally came into his own and broke double figures in the league stage. Was competing for top goal scorer. Other players around him, Callahan, former Real Madrid player, has always done well, very attacking. Dries Mertens,
Oh, is Dries there, the Belgian striker?
So they're loaded.
But do you think they're loaded enough to take down the defending champions?
And they've also made that signing of that Mexican forward. I can't remember.
Stunt.
Lozano?
I have no idea. Yeah.
I think it's Lozano.
Honestly, I have no idea.
Up front, they're solid. They've got goals in them. They've got attacking flair. And at the back, they've got probably many people consider, other than Van Dijk, the best defender in the world in Koulibaly. So, yeah. So they're a side that's well constructed and can beat any side.
So was Koulibaly nominated for in the European Team of the Year?
So the
Club Team of the Year?
Uefa Club Team of the Year hasn't been announced.
It hasn't been announced. Oh, okay.
No.
My apologies.
But yeah, it's one of those things. Would he be considered? Because
his team didn't really feature.
Yeah, we've seen that the club footballers of the year or the team of the year favors those teams that have
ended in like the top 8 teams in Europe.
Yeah,
basically.
but among like pundits and stuff, they consider him very valuable. He's got a price tag of over 100 million. So
let's be fair, who doesn't have a price tag over 100 million nowadays?
I remember the Napoli president said, disrespectful, but he said if Harry Maguire is 85 million, then Koulibaly is 250 million.
That is a little disrespectful, but I like it. It's funny.
Yeah, it shows that you've
got some pride
in your player, and
Yeah,
know?
that's pretty
You're gonna
cool.
get a good paycheck when he finally leaves.
Well, he's trying to get a good paycheck
Yeah.
when he finally is. But once again, he's not playing in England, where people just like spending audacious amounts of money
Yeah.
for players that are English.
Yeah. So Man United have.
Remember that price tag was also so hefty because he's an English player.
Yeah.
So he counts as one of their, basically you have to have a certain amount of English players on your squad for when you play in the league.
Okay.
So for the life of me, I can't remember how many. Maybe we can put it up as a graphic.
Yeah.
But you have to have a certain amount of English players on your, or not English, but from the island. What do you call it? I don't know. The Great Britain.
Great Britain.
From Great Britain, you have to have X amount of English players on your squad. Your starting lineup, not your starting lineup. Flip your team sheet.
Yeah.
Why am I struggling so much?
Now it's a stupid question. Is Great Britain a country or is England a country?
No, England's a country. Great Britain is like a union.
Is it? Yeah. So that's how I
so-
understood it. But yeah, someone told me that Great Britain's a country. I'm like,
But I find it strange. I don't know why Scotland have their own league. Because they form part of Great Britain, as far as I know.
But there's also the Irish League, Northern Irish.
Yeah, but
League.
Northern Ireland don't fall part of Great Britain.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. They don't say.
You get Ireland and you get Northern Ireland.
Okay.
So Northern Ireland form part of I could be wrong, but Northern Ireland form part of like the European Union, and they're like separated, and it's separated by like a little garden fence. I'm serious, it is. And then I saw this one documentary where this dog was like running between Ireland and Northern Ireland. It's quite funny. Anyway, let's get back on topic. So
we agree on that group, I think.
100% Liverpool, Napoli, Salzburg, Genk.
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Group F, another entertaining group. Reason why it's entertaining: Inter Milan signed some cool players. Let's say cool players. I like it.
Yeah.
For the life of me, one is Sanchez.
Yeah, and Lukaku.
Both
from Man United.
Two good strikers, or not good strikers, but
in the forward line, yeah.
In the forward line, Sanchez has proved himself at many clubs.
Yeah, and if you also throw in there, Mauro Icardi is one of the best strikers in the world, so that's going to be a formidable forward line.
It's nice seeing an Italian team that's got a good front three.
Yeah.
Not necessarily a good front three, but Lukaku is a strong attacking forward.
Yeah.
Especially he's good in the air. I think it's a good signing.
And his pace is underrated.
Sorry?
His pace is very underrated.
He is very underrated. I know when he just came on the scene, when I think he got signed by Chelsea, they were comparing him to be the new Drogba.
Oh, yeah.
Gross comparison. I think it's an unfair comparison when you're 19 to make to a player, especially when he's going to a club where they're comparing him to a legend.
Yeah.
So
you know what? But this is also slightly off topic, but sometimes it shows what you're made of.
That you can be compared to one of those legends.
Messi, they compared him to Maradona. So did he break? Did he buckle? Or did he show that not only...
showed resilience, basically.
Yeah, not only can he be compared to Maradona, but he's actually grown into his own legend. So, yeah, we've seen it before, Nani to Ronaldo, those various comparisons.
That was a bad one.
Yeah, Bojan. Do you remember Bojan back in the day?
When he just got signed to Barcelona.
Yeah, so they made comparisons between him and Messi, and they looked good at the beginning.
It's but they only made the comparison because he was so small as well, dude.
And
they didn't make the comparison because...
Is he still in Stoke?
I think so. But they made the comparison because of his size, not because of who he was.
Yeah,
so
it's disappointing. Don't know. It would actually be interesting to see what actually happened to him, because he was playing at Stoke, and he loaned out somewhere. Then I think he had to come back, and I don't know what he's doing right now, but... Yeah, this is the group that
I think it's the most entertaining group to watch.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Slavia Praha because
it was actually it was so funny when they announced the group.
Did you watch it live?
No, only watched this afterwards.
Okay.
The representatives, they were all laughing when they got told they were in this group.
Of Slavia.
Yeah, you can either laugh or cry about it.
Yeah, I'd laugh, dude.
They started laughing.
It's like you have to laugh at yourself when you fall over. It makes the pain go away.
Imagine how awesome it must be for these players. Every single match they play, they're coming up against world stars.
It's also like some of these. I remember like a couple of years. It's like these small teams that qualify for the Champions League just by qualification, because there's like a whole another qualification procedure that you only know about if you're an Arsenal fan, because they're always in fourth.
Arsenal fans don't know about it anymore because they don't go to that qualification stage anymore.
You only know about this thing if you're an Arsenal fan. And basically these small teams, they win their league and then they qualify and then they have a stadium that is like my high school stadium size. It's just one massive stand.
Yeah.
And then they build temporary seating for these games. So these big games are big for these small clubs.
Yeah.
So
good on them.
Especially for the small towns in Europe, the whole community comes to watch. Basically the stadium is half filled with foreigners. Basically this time it's going to be Germans, Italians and Spanish speaking people.
Yeah.
And it's really good for them. Tourism's good for that city or the town. And I think they're going to love it because they're going to play against literally one of the world's best forwards in Messi. And then also young German talent that Dortmund have just signed as well.
Dortmund's looking good.
And Inter Milan with a really good front three. We don't know how they're going to play together, but let's see.
Yeah, so I was also wondering, like, why is the relationship between Inter and Man United, why has it got so good of late? Because I don't know if you remember, like a couple of years ago, there was that big transfer saga between Ivan Perisic and Man United, and they couldn't formulate a deal for Man United buying him.
You know what I think it is? I think it's money.
You think it's money?
Ryan, I think it's money.
So I was also wondering, like, where does this leave? Where does this leave Mauro Icardi? Because now you've got Mauro Icardi and Lukaku both going to play up front. If maybe this is Man United's way of softening Inter up in order to get Mauro Icardi their side.
Maybe next year, or maybe in January. You never know. Also, United have spent a lot of money. They have to get rid of players, or else they're going to get the same ban Chelsea got.
Yeah.
Well, Chelsea's ban was because of youth players.
Yeah.
But still, FIFA fair play, it can be strict. It can ruin a season.
Yeah.
Barcelona were very lucky when it happened against them that they appealed it and they could basically sign Suarez for an audacious amount of money. But still,
I still don't get that. But I don't understand how PSG got away with the whole Mbappe Neymar thing.
Dude, they've made money, dude. Yeah. Surely that's anyway because you have to make profit. I think out of in your season or something. So they got out of it. So this is a tough group to call. I think we're almost guaranteed to get it wrong. Fourth spot, we've got a guaranteed point at least.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think Inter. I've talked a lot about them, but I still think they're going to end third. Dortmund, Barcelona, once again on your day.
Yeah.
You can get a draw at flipping Camp Nou, and you can win it at home.
So the thing with
Dortmund have the most, like, let's call it religious fans.
Yeah. I've got Barcelona finishing top. People might say that's predictable, but that's because they're just so good. They're predictably always going to be consistent, and then, unless they're, 4-0 up or 3 or 4-0 up against Liverpool, then they're no longer consistent. But in a general case, they're not going to have a bad game in the group. With Dortmund, their side, they could, and I could definitely see them beating Barcelona. But overall, I think Barcelona will pick up points in every game.
So you said Barcelona first?
Yeah, Dortmund. Yeah, Barcelona.
If you say Dortmund second, we have the same group.
It's just so predictable, isn't it?
It's fine. We can be predictable.
Okay.
As long as we don't look like tools for every group. Imagine that.
I'm so tempted to say Inter second.
If you want to, say it now.
Speak
now, whoever.
Barcelona first, Inter second, Dortmund third, and then Slavia fourth.
Okay, I like it. We're different once again.
Just to make it a bit different.
And now the best group to be a part of, I guess. I think
so
Benfica and Lyon and Leipzig are so stoked they probably pulled Zenit in their group. That's probably the easiest, or not the easiest. It's kind of quite disrespectful to say that, but they got the nicest team from pot one, realistically. Yeah. So pot one was Liverpool, Chelsea. So pot one is basically every team in the major league in Europe that won their league, and then the Champions League winner, and then the Europa League winner.
Yeah, I think so.
And then I think Zenit.
Because they won the league.
Did they win it? I don't even know.
I don't know.
I don't follow the Russian league. I don't think I ever will. But Zenit somehow got it. I remember pot 1 used to be how you performed in Europe in the past 5 seasons.
But it's not anymore.
It's not anymore. It's now if you win your league,
Yeah.
if you're in one of the major leagues, if you win your league, and then if you win Champions League, and obviously,
because I mean, else Real Madrid would have been in pot 1, but they were in pot 2. So like you say, you have to win your league, or win the Champions League or Europa League.
Exactly. So,
this is an interesting one. I've got Lyon and Leipzig going through.
Really? Ooh, that's spicy. I like it. So Leipzig was in pot 4.
Yeah.
So.
But like we said, the German league so competitive. So the fact that they're able to get through that German league, make the Champions League, Timo Werner, only 23, and he's one to look out for.
Where's Zenit's ending then? If you have Leipzig and Lyon going through,
fourth. I've got the.
So you got pot A going fourth.
Yeah,
I like that. Okay.
Because Benfica, they've got good European pedigree, so.
They've always performed. They've always somehow got through.
Yeah.
So I don't know. As much as I want to have faith in a German team, I think they're going to enter.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
This is a difficult group to call. Okay, I think Benfica, Lyon are going through.
Yeah.
But I can't see Leipzig ending fourth, and I also can't see Zenit ending fourth.
This is going to be a very close group because every single one of those teams can realistically pick up points against any
So
of the
you think this
others.
is the group to watch, actually, if you're saying that?
Yeah. When you're watching the Champions League and you're flicking through the channels, because a lot of the times the matches aren't on at the same time, and you naturally are drawn to the Chelsea versus this team, or Barcelona versus this team, or Man United versus this team, and you always neglect the smaller teams. And then sometimes those smaller teams have the craziest results, like 3-3 or 4.
The best fixture to watch of the week, basically.
Yeah, so I'm not going to say...
You only know that when you look at the halftime show.
So I'm definitely not going to lie, and I'm not going to say I'm going to prioritize their matches, because...
You're not.
It could be Liverpool versus Napoli at the same time.
You're not going to watch it.
But, it's definitely going to be an entertaining group to keep an eye on, and, there's no... I also feel like this is a group, there's no way you can get it right. It's so unpredictable.
Yeah, and also, once again, we have a Russian team, so teams are going to have to travel. That's also really important. So, I haven't looked at the fixture list. I don't know who's playing on the weekend. But Benfica topping their group, Lyon second, Zenit third, and Leipzig fourth.
Okay, so at least we're very different.
Oh, we need to write these down.
Well, we'll look back at the tape.
Oh, and now, last but not least, my favorite group, my team.
What is Chelsea doing there?
Yeah, they won Europa, so they ended top of the pool.
And even if they didn't win Europa, they somehow finished third. So good on you, Chelsea.
Somehow finished third.
And look, you're wearing the sexy Chelsea home kit.
The new kit fits like a glove.
Fits
really
jealous,
nice.
Not gonna lie.
Fits like a glove, really nice.
Next payday, definitely getting myself one of those.
Comfort. It's the end of the month, man. What are you talking about? Payday was like...
That's actually true.
Like the other day.
This is true, but we're gonna have a banger tonight. So who knows what I'm gonna be left with?
Okay, let's see. We're going to a pole competition, pole dancing.
Yeah.
Considered a sport. I guess it's becoming one.
Is it a sport?
Yeah, I think so. It's still got the reputation of let's go get some dollar bills and make it rain. It's still got that reputation, but I guess it's becoming a sport.
Okay.
I don't know. Rumor has it that they're trying to make a competition to enter the Olympics.
Oh wow! But you know what? Not everything can be made sleazy. But if you actually watch professional pole dancers, it's actually ridiculously cool to watch.
It's incredible.
It's incredible what they're able to do. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fun. I think we're going to have a good evening. So that's our plans. What are you guys doing? Let us know in the comments.
It's probably only our parents that are watching this.
It's going to be Thursday night when this airs, but let us know what you do on Thursday night. It's so exciting. And so Group H. Ajax played so well last season.
Ooh, yeah.
Valencia, the third Spanish team, I think. They ended third in their group.
They finished fourth. I think Real Madrid finished third.
Yes, sorry.
And then I think they finished fourth.
So why... Oh, never mind. I'm being a tool. I don't even know what the fourth team is. LOSC. You're going to tell me now. So once again, we've got a guarantee.
Who's the final team?
It's LOSC.
Oh, Lille.
No, is that Lille?
Yeah, you're reading LOSC, but it's
Yes.
like, I think the L stands for Lille or something.
Is that really? So that's like Hazard's old club.
Yeah.
It is Lille. You're right.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Valencia squad list. Yeah, this is a very dangerous side. You know, funny story. So Valencia won the Copa del Rey, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good season for them. The Copa del Rey, the FA Cup equivalent, and they beat Barcelona in the final. So Jasper Cillessen, the Dutch international goalkeeper,
Yes.
he lost to Valencia in the final, and now he got sold to Valencia. And in Valencia's first game, the other team they were playing gave him a parade of honor. And so Jasper Cillessen had to awkwardly go through this this tunnel where people were like saying well done and stuff when he was the goalkeeper that got beaten.
That's brilliant.
So he doesn't have a Copa del Rey medal to his name, or he might have from like a previous season, but he got praised for winning the Copa del Rey even though he's the loser that conceded the goals.
I love that. That's quite funny.
Yeah. And so solid goalkeeper.
Hey, there's a parade for winning the trophy for us.
Oh man, shame. Poor Jasper. How do you pronounce the name?
It's like
Jasper.
It's like a dirty move for the club. I love it.
No, poor him. He went to Barcelona thinking, I'm Ajax starting goalkeeper, Dutch international. I can definitely find my way into the starting berth. But
Ter Stegen
is just unreal.
Yeah, he's been playing well.
Yeah, but
he really has.
We've got Rodrigo, Kevin Gomero, Gonzalo Guedes, who scored in the Nations League final. So they've got a dangerous attacking lineup, and Valencia can also spring a surprise upon anyone. So
is the Nations League happening again this year?
I don't think
or was it a one-time thing?
It's not a one-time thing, but it won't happen every year. I don't think it'll happen because the seedings contribute to qualifying for the European Championship. So I think it'll only happen like every 2 or 4 years. We'll find out.
That doesn't make sense though, Ryan.
Let me Google it.
That doesn't make sense because so every 4 years you have the World Cup.
Yeah, but every 4 years you also have the
No. And then in 2 years then you have Euro. Does that make sense? So, for example, Euro is going to be next year. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. So we're going to 20. When is
so
it?
Surely they have to have the UEFA Nations Cup for next year's qualifying?
It starts in November 2020 again. So I think it's going to be every 2 years.
So it's after Euro?
Yeah.
Okay. That's confusing. Anyway.
Okay. So
we have digressed once again.
So November 2020 it starts again, and the next one's going to be November 2022. So it's every 2 years.
Okay.
But
Group H, let's see. Chelsea, Ajax, Valencia, and then Lille.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm going to go Chelsea top.
Really? Do you think Chelsea top? I think Ajax, Valencia are probably so stoked that, other than getting Zenit.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea's probably the other team that you want to get.
Yeah, because
just because they haven't had the chance to make any signings.
And they haven't looked that great.
Well, they've conceded every game.
Yeah.
Every game they've conceded. I still think Chelsea are going to go through. Ajax or Valencia, one of them. It's going to be a tough group. I feel like each team's going to end on 8 points or 9 points. And then it's going to once again be goal difference that decides it, or head-to-head difference that decides who goes through. Chelsea, Ajax, Valencia are going to miss out, I think.
I'm just looking at Lille's squad. I feel like their depth is just not good enough to really challenge those other three sides. So I see them not necessarily being the whipping boys, but I see them finishing bottom. And it's anyone's game between those other three teams. But I'm going to go in the order in which they were announced.
So we have the same group.
Going to go in the order they were announced. So, Carl, using the point system you created earlier on, we're going to see who's going to come out on top. It's going to be very interesting.
So we'll find out when is the group stage end? In February?
No,
it's end this year. It ends this year.
Yeah, so it's probably like
in December,
January, that little period.
I know after the group stage is like a long month period there.
Yeah.
They don't touch European football.
And then it all happens very quickly after that.
Yeah, and then it's like weekly basically.
But coinciding with the Champions League draw, we also found out.
Did it happen at the same presentation? What you're going to mention now?
Yeah, I think it did.
Okay.
I think it did. And, I think the...
UEFA Club Football of the Year. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, it's short. So, UEFA Club Football of the Year, another major talking point. A defender won. Can you believe it?
We spoke about this there.
Virgil van Dijk.
He had such a great season. Harry Maguire cost so much more than him. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Is that a rumor to say that Harry Maguire is going to be the next winner?
I'm surprised Maguire wasn't included, man. Can you believe it? Or Bentner. What the hell?
Oh, Bentner. Where is he now?
He's playing for some what's his homeland? Denmark.
Danish team.
So he's playing for some Danish team.
Okay.
Rosenborg.
So dude, tell me what UEFA Club Football of the Year is. I know about Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
What is this compared to Ballon d'Or? Does this mean anything?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like an easy comparison to make is which one is the Oscars?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
What is UEFA Club Football of the Year? Tell me.
Yeah. So I mean, if we're gonna make that comparison, then UEFA Club Football of the Year might be like the Golden Globes to the Oscars. It's not the one that the highest honor.
Yes.
But they all represent the same thing. They're all trying to find out who is the best player in the world. But the UEFA Club Football of the Year is limited to those players that competed in European leagues. At the same time, we don't ever see another player outside the European leagues ever win an individual award anyway. So you can basically say this is like for the best player in the world. But it's limited to players competing in Europe.
So it's not actually the best player in the world.
It's not, but
wasn't Neymar nominated when he played for?
So Neymar could still win this award.
Yes, because he plays in Europe.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to compare when he was at Santos. When he was in Brazil, he still won. He was still nominated for one of those goals for goal of the year, Puskas Award. But he was also nominated for Player of the Year.
No, he wasn't. So
was he not?
No. He could have been. He might have been in the big shortlist because the Ballon.
Yeah, it's first like a 20-man shortlist, and then it gets to 10, and then they name the top 3 before the evening.
So that award ceremony where he won Goal of the Year, that's a Puskas Award, and that forms part of the FIFA Best ceremony. So here's the difference between them. UEFA Club Football of the Year. So there's 3 of them. Where UEFA Club Football of the Year, FIFA Best Awards, and Ballon d'Or Awards. They're all.
That's not. So FIFA Best and Ballon d'Or is not the same thing.
No, they all 3.
This is so confusing.
They all 3. So just break it down. So you got UEFA Club Football of the Year, FIFA Best, and Ballon d'Or. They represent the same thing. They're trying to find out who the best player of the year is, but
I feel like this is just an organization that wants to meet Ronaldo or Messi.
Yeah,
because they do the same thing.
The irritating thing is, whoever's nominated for one is pretty much nominated for the other. So you might as well just have one award. Here's the thing: there used to be only one award. So FIFA Best and Ballon d'Or used to be joined between 2010 and 2015. So it used to be called the FIFA Ballon d'Or. And between 2010 and 2015, it was just one award. So that was the best player in the world. But there was obviously some disagreement. It hasn't been made public.
Who decides? So, like, for example, Ballon d'Or. Who decides who wins UEFA Club Football of the Year, FIFA Best, and then Ballon d'Or? So it's now 3 awards.
Yeah. So UEFA Club, I think it's more down to journalists, pundits alike, where the FIFA Best incorporates fan votes, and then the Ballon d'Or.
Okay, so just from that alone now, we can say FIFA Best is probably the worst one to win. Like it has the least amount of weight.
Yeah. Because fans, they're just going to vote for their favorite player.
Exactly. Oh, who's got the most Instagram followers? Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Although
Ronaldo, you win.
The weighting of the fan votes obviously probably counts a lot less because, Modric still won this award.
I feel like we're watching America's Got Talent and we're on a knockout stage.
Don't
forget to vote for your fan, for your num. Dial this number and 2 at the end.
So I was actually, because I was checking over like Messi fan pages and Ronaldo fan pages, and they literally do that. They're like, get voting for Messi, get voting for Ronaldo.
Dude, honestly, how can you respect? Yeah. I don't know. I feel like we're watching America's Got Talent.
I wonder how much weight the fan votes actually have, because Luka Modric still won this award. the previous season, and fan base is probably a lot smaller than Ronaldo, with all due respect. So, I
I
think
don't know, you know more than me.
I mean, yeah, Ronaldo's got like almost 200 million followers on Instagram or something like that. Modric, maybe a couple million, still a lot, but so the amount of fans that would have voted for Ronaldo probably outweighed Luka, but I don't know how big the fan weighting is in that award.
So FIFA Best has fan participation.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean we don't know how much it's weighted. It's got fan participation. UEFA Club Footballer of the Year, you say, is journalists and then probably former players.
I don't actually know the panel.
And then Ballon d'Or?
Coaches and captains of the national teams.
National teams?
Yeah.
So you say Harry Kane has a vote?
Yeah. So Harry Kane can vote for himself. No, I'm joking. You can't do that. You can't vote for yourself.
That's funny.
It brings politics into question. So
can I share something with esports, like how this can maybe relate with esports?
Okay.
So esports have they've got basically now you have your national tournament, and then in the national tournament you can vote for your players of the split. So you can vote for a team. So there's 5 positions in a team. So this is now League of Legends. There's 5 positions in a team, and then there's a coach. So you basically get 6 votes.
Okay.
So then every team nominates 1 player, and then the coach basically vote for each one of those positions.
Yeah.
The 5 positions, and then the coach.
Yeah.
But they can't vote for themselves.
Yeah.
So the coach of this team can't vote for his players in that team, but they can vote for anyone else.
Yeah.
So basically, maybe they do something similar to that.
They do something similar. So the coach has 3 votes.
Yes.
So he votes in his order. So he'll say Messi first, Van Dijk second.
So that's the same thing that they do.
Yeah,
that's literally the same thing they do.
That is what they do. And so first place will get like 5 points, second like 3 points, and third will get 1 point.
And then to finish off, and then in League of Legends they name 3 squads. So they're just very apparent about the results. So for example, they don't show who voted for who, but they show basically, let's say there's a maximum of 130 votes. So if you voted for this team to come first, you get 3 points. So, and if you said second, player.
Yeah.
If you voted for this player to come, like he was the best in his position, he gets 3 points. If he was second, he gets 2. If he was third, he gets 1. And then basically they say they name like the best teams. So they name all-star team of the split.
Yeah.
So basically they have 3 teams: this team, this team, and this team. And then they actually show how many points each team, like each player got in that position. And then I don't know, that's very apparent. You can actually see, okay, like the professionals think this player is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think the voting's so similar because
there's no like.
We know you know how many points a player got. It is made public.
Oh, is it similar? Is it made public? Okay, so I don't know that.
Yeah, it's made public.
That's interesting. Is it stuff for Ballon d'Or or UEFA Club?
Ballon d'Or and UEFA Club Football of the Year, they made the points apparent.
But then FIFA Best is all hidden for the public.
It's not necessarily hidden. The points are also made public.
Oh, no.
It's everything's.
I'm just trying to make controversy.
You're playing devil's advocate here, but everything's transparent. Everything's transparent. Van Dijk had like 300 and something points. Messi 200.
I don't know, anything with like FIFA at the start feels a little bit corrupt.
Well, UEFA is not part of FIFA, and then Ronaldo.
Oh, sorry, I'm talking about FIFA Best.
Ronaldo only had 70
points. That's where
points.
fan vote is. 7 points.
70 compared to Messi's 200 and Van Dijk's 300. So Ronaldo was just there for the free dinner. He didn't get forward of the year. Messi got. He didn't get forward of the year. He didn't get player of the year. He was just there to, show his face.
I don't know. I just feel like when FIFA's involved, there's a little bit of corruption, possibly. Down the line, let's get some dollar balls thrown in Sepp Blatter's face again.
Love that moment.
It's my favorite moment.
Yeah.
So, it's what do you say? What's the best thing if you are Virgil van Dijk? Let's hypothetically speak to him because he's now most likely the front runner to win FIFA Best and Ballon d'Or. FIFA Best is on the 23rd of September.
Okay.
Ballon d'Or's in December.
What
does Virgil want to win? Because he's clearly the front runner to win it now, just because he's been announced. It's like the Oscars when the Golden Globes gets announced. Oh, look, Rami Malek won Best Actor.
Okay, who's that?
He's the guy who was Freddie Mercury.
Okay.
Mr. Robot, the actor.
Okay. Okay.
He's so uncultured. Oh, goodness. Anyway, Virgil's favorite to win it. Rami Malek won Golden Globes, and then instantly in your mind you're like, okay, he's most likely going to win the Oscar.
Yeah.
And not every year, but more often than not.
Yeah.
the same guy or girl wins both.
It is a good precursor. He is a favorite, and whenever we talk about the best player in the world, we don't say FIFA best player in the world. We don't say UEFA Club Footballer of the Year. We simply say Ballon d'Or. It's become synonymous with being the best player. They want that golden ball. That means the most, I think. So if I was Van Dijk, that's the award I would be holding out for. That's a personal opinion. When Ronaldo and Messi talk about their awards, they have pictures of their Ballon d'Ors in front of them.
That's true.
They love those golden balls. They're all about them balls.
And last defender to win it was Cannavaro, right?
Yeah. 2006, yeah.
2006 when they won the World Cup. Okay.
So could be good.
Let's see if it's. I like it. I like that defenders are winning things again. It's just been
I almost feel like
decade of flipping strikers winning everything, but they've been so good.
I mean,
literally.
I'm happy with the result. I think that's the result I would have had it in. I think Ronaldo was a clear third, but he was nowhere near second. He was ahead of the rest because of his Nations League victory and Serie A Player of the Year, etc. But he was definitely behind Messi and Van Dijk. Personally, as a footballing purist, I liked Messi number one because scoring over 50 goals in a season, being the biggest playmaker in the league. I'm pretty sure if this happened 10 years ago, Messi might have won it. But because he's almost a victim...
He's so consistently good.
Yeah.
People are like, it's not a special season.
I mean, the first time Messi and Ronaldo hit over 50 goals, we were like, what? I'm pretty sure most people don't even know that Messi hit over 50 goals last season because...
he does it every year.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So, Messi, Ronaldo, both of them, victim of their own success, victim of their own consistency, but happy for Van Dijk because he made a massive difference to that Liverpool side, and sometimes individual awards have to be judged by your influence on a team's success. So good on Van Dijk.
So you never know. Maybe 10 years from now, when we are on episode 605, Van Dijk could be on our Bradbury Special. You never know.
Could be, or it could be the fact that Lovren is actually going to win the Ballon d'Or.
Oh my goodness, yeah, exactly. Then it will be Lovren. We'll have a chat about Lovren.
Yeah,
episode 554. You'll have crutches because you probably broke your leg doing something stupid.
Out of nowhere, Carl. What would I have done?
Who knows? I don't know. I just think you would have done something stupid.
Thanks.
Breaking your leg. We're going on to the Bradbury Special.
Yeah.
You know this one pretty much off by heart. So our Bradbury Special this week is going to be about Formula One.
Yeah.
And it's about Team Braun GP. Am I right?
Yes. Braun GP with drivers Jenson Button and Rubens Barrichello. That was during the 2009 Formula One season.
So I obviously didn't watch Formula One in those years, but who is Ruben Barrichello?
Rubens Barrichello.
And who's Jenson Button? Like, why is this freak nature in sport? Why are we honoring it with the Bradbury Special?
So Rubens Barrichello, long-time Ferrari driver, he partnered Michael Schumacher during those glory years, and he was a very good driver. He played second fiddle, and he was a great team player, and he was nearing the end of his career at this point. Jenson Button was an exciting driver that everyone knew that he had the potential to be great, but for some reason something was always holding him back, whether it be team performance or youthful exuberance. So I'll compare him to maybe someone like Daniel Ricciardo right now, where we're like, is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? It never did happen, and it looked like Jenson's career in Formula One would end without ever making massive inroads into Formula One, because the team that they were racing for, BAR Honda, was facing massive financial difficulties. And that was after the 2008 season. Had a horrible season.
This is the season before the Bradbury Special.
Yeah, so the season 2008, they finished 9th out of 11 teams. The only 2 teams below them were just back markers that didn't even get a point that season. So they were pretty much the worst team that actually at least got a point.
So to not get a point, you basically none of your drivers in top 10 ever.
Through the whole season, yeah.
So you said there were 11 teams, so that means there were
22 races.
22 races. So back in the day, they weren't 20, they were 22.
Yeah.
When did they change it to be 10?
So I don't really know if there's...
F2? Did F2 take a bigger team allocation?
No, well, it varied. Sometimes there was 12 teams. Like another season there could have been 10. Like I don't think there was really a stipulation on the amount of teams. Maybe they've made it concrete now that there has to be 10. I'm not sure, but yeah, there was 11 in the season and a few seasons before. And yeah, like I said, they finished the worst team out of the teams that got points. But
so they ended third last.
Third last. But during the season, they kept on reassuring their fans, "Don't worry, we're working on our car for the next season. We're working on our car. We're working on it."
So they were focused. They already determined that this season was a ball ache.
Yeah.
Not ball ache. They have no chance. So they put all their resources almost for the next season.
Yeah, they put the resources into the next season, but come the end of that season and the beginning parts of the next season, they faced way too much financial difficulties. But Ross Brawn, former I think manager of Ferrari, so he could have been the race engineer, could have been the manager. Either way, he was something important for Ferrari. He worked very closely with Michael Schumacher and Barrichello back in the day. He propelled a movement for people to buy over this Honda team because he saw potential in them. He saw what they had in store for the next season. So they were bought out.
By him, obviously.
By Brawn. Well, yeah. So I don't necessarily know if he was the main stakeholder.
Well,
I don't know.
It's named after him.
Yeah, but that's more for sponsorships and stuff. I don't really know if he had all the money to buy over a team that was facing massive financial difficulties.
Probably not.
I think who's that guy who owns the whole Virgin Active stuff? Richard Branson. I think he was involved heavily during that season as well. And I think the neck at a stage could have even been called Virgin Racing. Either way, they were bought out. Main point, they were bought out. And Jenson Button and Rubens Barrichello, who thought they would have to exit Formula 1 or go to a back market team the next season, had a drive. So they were just happy to have a drive, let alone win the whole championship the next season. Jenson Button...
So about how far did they win?
By a long way. So Button and Barrichello finished first and third in the championship respectively. Button won 7 out of the first 9 races. He built an unassailable lead. But then the other teams caught up to them. But by the time they caught up, it was already too late. And Button won his first and only Formula 1 championship in 2009. Good reward for the struggles that he had in Formula 1, where he wasted, I wouldn't say he wasted, but he used his peak years in a team that he was staying at just for loyalty.
Going through development, basically.
Yeah, he was being loyal to his team, waiting for them to come right. They never came right. They went bankrupt, got bought out. He stayed, and he won the championship.
So do you see this ever happening again? Do you see Toro Rosso ever?
Well, it'll never happen.
Climbing the ranks.
It'll never happen to Toro Rosso because as soon as they start doing well, Red Bull will just say, "Hey, why are you doing that well?" And they'll just take
all their resources.
So Toro Rosso never, but
I just use them as an example.
Yeah, it's something we don't see too often, is it? Because Mercedes, Ferrari at the moment, and Red Bull have been at the top for so long, and that's why it's a Bradbury special because it doesn't happen
every day
at all. But who knows? Maybe regulations and rule changes in Formula 1 in the future might help these unlikely occurrences happen more often.
So yeah, that makes sense.
And then interestingly, Brawn GP eventually became Mercedes as we know it today.
And they're by far the best at the moment.
They're by far the best. So
they are so far ahead.
So I'm pretty sure all those people who did sell Bar Honda must be kicking themselves right now. If they were just able to, maintain that team for one more season, they would be so rich. But
when you liquidate, like when you go into if you're getting forced liquidation, there's almost nothing you can do. You can't pay salaries.
What's liquidation? Is that when you melting or something?
And in that we are ending episode 3.
I'm so stupid.
Yeah, I'll speak to you later. That was disappointing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Yeah. Ryan, have anything to close on?
No.
What is liquidation?
I don't know. You tell me. Tell me a bit later.
Perfect. Anyway, thank you for listening. Really appreciate it. Let us know what you think in the comments. And if you want us to speak about anything. Josh asked us to speak about the World Surf League.
Surf League. I just don't know enough about surfing. But
we only found out yesterday, so we haven't had time to even look at it.
Yeah.
Since none of us know actually anything about surfing. I just know about Kelly Slater.
Yeah,
But
and
that was a couple of years ago.
he's also a very, very good South African surfer.
Back when I was an X Games esports, what is it called?
I don't know. Let's not
X
embarrass
Games
ourselves by
sports?
talking
I don't
about
know.
a sport we don't know about. But
So
we are going to learn more about.
We will look at it, and then we'll have a chat, and then you can tell us about it and see if we know anything and criticize us heavily. But thanks for watching, and cheers.
Sweet. Enjoy the rest of your weekend or
Your week. What are you doing Thursday night? Don't forget to tell us. Cheers.